What's up YouTube? Back with another video here today, and this is going to be the part 2 of the top 5 things about this truck, and the video today is going to be about the top 5 things I dislike about this truck right here behind me. So many of these things can pretty much apply to almost any 2015 Duramax, so the things that I list in this video you may also not like or not even know that you don't like until I mention it in this video, but they are things that I have noticed over the years as I've been in various trucks from the LB7s all the way up to the L5Ps, so there's actually a lot of differences between all the years and makes and models and things that even other brands offer, such as Ford and Dodge, that I think Chevrolet is kind of missing out on. Let me make it very clear here. I love this truck. I think it's as perfect as it can be. I love this truck in no way, shape, or form would I rather have another truck. But of course, with that, nothing in life is perfect. So this is, of course, after owning this thing for a couple years, and with me being in other vehicles, there are things I have come across that I realized, why does this truck not have those things? Or even just things after driving it for a while, you know, things that I've come to know that I don't like about the truck. So that's going to be the topic of today's video. I'm actually going to jump in the truck here, guys, and head out to my property once again. Today is actually Sunday. It is exactly 1 week after I recorded the last video. I'm going over the review on this truck here. So I'm going to be heading out to my property again today to do some more cleaning up, and I'll even show you guys where the house is at currently. It's just a little bit further along. Nothing crazy, haven't even started plumbing yet, but dirt elevations and cutouts of the lanai and garage and everything are actually done. So it actually gives me a good idea of what the house is actually going to look like as far as sizing and everything. So I'll show you guys that. And of course, today was daylight savings time, which I don't know who decided to make this on a weekend. Why couldn't this happen on a Tuesday night? They just took an hour out of my weekend, so that's awesome. But so of course I had to make up for it and sleep in an extra hour this morning. So I'm gonna hop in the truck here, guys. I'm gonna head out to my property, and once I get out there, I'm gonna be going over the 5 things that I do not like about my current truck here. And this is the L5P that we also have on the channel here, guys. It was the last 2018 they had on the lot when he went to get the L5P as far as a work truck goes. Now these are the old wheels off of his truck that he had on the slate blue one before, and with a leveling kit up front, and it helps us look so much better than riding around on the Bobo stock. So I gotta get this truck out of the way here, guys, so I can get my truck out of the garage. Alright guys, made it out to my property here. and I'm going to start the segment here of the 5 things I dislike about my truck right behind me here. So like I said before I drove out here, I do love this truck. I love everything about it. There are little things though that I wish were different, and some of these things do apply to your truck as well if you have a 2015 and newer Duramax. But all in all, I still love the truck, but there are little things that I wish GM would have done a little different. So as far as the segment here, I'm going to start inside the truck. There's actually 2 things on my list I don't like about my truck, and these pretty much apply to everyone out there, even whether you have a LTZ, Duramax, High Country, Denali. All of this applies to you. And I'm gonna start this list at number 5, work my way down to 1. And once again, just like the other video I made about the 5 things I like about my truck, this is in no particular order. And I know in the last video I did have the Allison and Duramax combination that I said was a real number 1. I didn't plan on that, it just kind of came out that way in the video. But once again, in this video, I don't have anything that is a true number 1. They're all pretty much equally annoying to me. I'm gonna start with number 5 here. All right guys, so I'm gonna start in the back seat of my truck here. So as you can see, I have a center console, and one thing that these trucks should have are AC vents somewhere here or in the ceiling like a Tahoe does, somewhere, so people in the back seat here actually aren't sweating when they're sitting back here. Because what happens is I have people sitting in the back seat, they start getting hot, so I have to move my AC vents towards the back seat. Now I'm getting hot. It's just a whole mess, and I don't know why GM went away from it. If any of you guys watching have a classic body style Duramax, you guys know that if you have a center console and it was fully loaded, you had a vent right here and right here for HVAC that kept the back seat cool. I don't know why in a 2015 Duramax, that's a $60,000+ truck, why people in the back seat have to sit here and sweat. Doesn't make any sense to me, and it's something that I honestly hate about this truck. Now the second thing here, guys, is to do with operating the windows in this truck. So as you can see, I have 4 switches here. I have the 2 front windows, 2 back windows. So if I actually want to put all the windows down, all I have to do is click these 4 buttons, they all go down. Now, something I don't understand why this truck does not have is when I want all the windows to come back up, the driver's side window is the only window that you can pull up once. One more time, as you guys can see, there's 2 clicks. There's a first click, second click. The second click is what lets the window come all the way back up without having to hold the button. Now the passenger front and 2 rear windows, you can see, only come up once. So you have to sit here and hold all these so the windows go up, hold this one till the windows goes up. I don't know why, and once again, in a $60,000+ vehicle, you have to hold these buttons for the windows to go up. Now I know this may seem petty, but my girlfriend had a Toyota Avalon that had no options in it as her first car. And of course it has 4 windows, and all these 4 here on her car, all you have to do is go boom, boom, and they all went up. You don't have to hold any of these buttons. And here my truck is 10 years newer, it's fully loaded, and you can only do that on the driver's side. I know in other models of GMs, they have these where they do exactly that, where all the windows go up. So I don't know why you would not put this in a fully loaded Duramax. So that is my number 4 on this video. All right guys, so I did wash the truck last night, and of course it started sprinkling on me as I'm coming out here, but these wheels are shining. I did a light hand polish on them. I cleaned the truck up a little bit so it'll look good for the video. Now I'm absolutely in love with these wheels. But aside from that, I'm moving on to number 3 on my list, which is the infamous square wheel wells. So of course in the back that doesn't matter, but the big issue you run into with these trucks is having the square wheel wells on the front. So as you can see, I've had to do some trimming here. I do rub up against the cab right here with the wheels, and this is pretty much stock keys up front. I'd say near stock ride height, maybe turned up a little bit. And I have pretty much a 31-inch tire that's stretched, and I still can barely turn. I mean, even with trimming the bumper, I only have, I'd say, 50% to 60% turning radius, which I'm completely fine with. I've gotten used to it. And of course, you have to, if you want to run a wide setup like this on a Duramax, you have to kind of get used to that with the square wheel wells. But it really irritates me when I see these brand new Fords and Dodges that can put a 24x14 on a 33, even sometimes a 35, with, you know, with a leveling kit, and all of a sudden they can turn 100% each way with minimal trimming, if not just a slight bumper space. So that is definitely number 3, something I hate about this truck. I like the way, I honestly don't mind how it looks. I don't think it looks bad. I just think that the form and function of turning is not there. So it's funny, one of my buddies that actually works with me, Kenny Slides, I'll put him right here on the video. You guys can check him out. He has over 40K followers on Instagram, and he slides the Trans Am around. He's drifting everywhere. He's a nut. His dad actually works at a Chevrolet dealership. And it's funny, we were kind of talking one day, and we were thinking, you know, maybe Chevrolet did this so people like me Don't throw these wide wheels on here with these big lift kits, or even whether you're leveled or not, just these wide wheels. They're destroying the front ends. Then you bring it in for warranty, and then they have to replace bearings and everything else. So whether that's true or not, I just hate how the turning radius on these trucks suck. And that will lead me into number 2 with these trucks. So speaking on the square wheel wells, if you want to turn a wide wheel, you're going to need to lift your truck significantly to have any type of turning radius. I'm in a different scenario here where, you know, I know that I'm not going to have that much turning radius, so I'm kind of the outlier as far as these statistics go. But if you're someone who wants to buy a Chevrolet, not hack the bumper up, have the Seaman Beaver mod on it, and you want to be able to turn well and drive in and out of lots and have the truck at different angles and not hitting stuff, you're gonna have to lift this truck, you know, a good amount. And someone like myself that was going for a quick truck, I did have this thing leveled on 24x14s, and a huge factor of why I got rid of those, aside from them vibrating my teeth out of my head because they weren't balanced right, was the leveling keys actually not allowing me to launch properly. So what I mean is I know in my last video I mentioned how I like the torsion bars on these trucks, and yes, I know you can do a coilover conversion in the front of these trucks. I know they're available now, especially from Performance Diesel here, which is a great guy. Hit Travis up if you need anything for any of your diesel trucks. I know they make those kits now. I haven't really tested one of those out, but to me, stock for stock, I think that from across the different brands, the torsion bars are good at stock height. But once you raise the front of the truck up, your CV axle angles do this, everything goes out of the correct geometry that it was supposed to be in, and now you have a level truck that looks good. But if you try and launch, you get the front wheels doing this on you, the truck's hopping around on the front, and it's really, and as you start snapping tie rods, it really turns it into a truck that is 4-wheel drive that you can't 4-wheel drive launch. So I know those trucks weren't made for this. It wasn't made to 4-wheel drive launch, but even for you guys that are in the aftermarket world, of even in the off-road world with these trucks, it's not good to have your CV axle angles like this and you're off-road putting a lot of stress on it, trying to climb over something or get through mud or whatever the case is. So it's really an overlook on GM's part, I feel, when they have the trucks coming from the factory sitting like this, and then you want to level it, and then it rides like garbage up front. Rides like garbage up front. You can't launch with it. It's harder on the whole front suspension off-road. The alignments are terrible. I mean, just the whole front end of the leveled truck is something I don't like about it. But like I said in the last video, if you're leaving it stock, I think it's amazing. So there's a huge pro, but a huge con with it as well. So like I said, in this application on my truck, I do not like how I can't launch correctly and sit at the leveled height, because I'm next to Fords and Dodges that are leveled, and at a stoplight, they take off, my front wheels are doing this, and then of course, they're telling all their buddies that, their stock F350 walked me with, and that's not something I want to hear through the grapevine. So that's why I went back to the drawing board and kind of looked at, how can I get the wide look, stay low in the front, be able to launch correctly, kind of give me everything all around. And that's kind of where I'm at now with these 22x14s and 305/40 Nitto 420s. Now getting to number 1 here, I'm gonna have to pop the hood here, just like I did in the last video for my last number 1. I'm not gonna say that this is a for sure number 1 as far as the number 1 most hated thing on this truck, but it's a huge thing in the aftermarket world. When you get a diesel, you want to be able to delete it, not worry about the thing blowing up on you, right? So something with these trucks, right down in here, you get a CP4 injection pump. What that does is it actually sucks fuel from the fuel tank, and that's what actually feeds the injectors on this truck. So normal cars have fuel pumps that are in the tank, and they send the fuel up to the fuel rails up in front of the truck, where diesels are different. They suck it from the tank. So what people were finding is the CP4s that were in this truck were prone to failure, especially when you were making it work harder than it had to and sucking the fuel without a lift pump. And people were destroying, and people with deleted trucks that were running them hard were working that CP4 a little too hard. And when it goes and takes out your injectors, your fuel tank, your fuel lines, everything, of course, the injection pump itself, and you have to replace everything, which is a nightmare. So, I mean, that's something that you guys won't have to deal with, and having the CP4s on these trucks are a nightmare. And that's definitely the first big mod I did to this, along with the turbo and everything else. I was not gonna do the turbo and everything else with this truck and not do the CP3 conversion, because the last thing I wanted was to have to spend 10 grand on new inject. And of course, if that were to happen to me and I had to buy all new injectors, at that point, I'd be spending even more money, because I wouldn't just get stock injectors. I'd get bigger ones and, everything else. So, I mean, what I can say, if you have a Duramax and you have a CP4 in your truck, the best thing to do, even with a stock truck, is to put a lift pump on it. That lift pump is going to help, even if you're not going for a bunch of power. The lift pump is going to help that CP4 not work as hard, because the lift pump sucks fuel out of the tank and sends it to the injection pump, so the injection pump is not having to suck it all the way from the fuel tank. So yes, I know that this does come on the 6.7s as well. It was on that truck as well, and I personally haven't heard about it as much about having failure rates on the Fords, but I know the Fords and the Duramaxes definitely had those failure rates with the CP4s, and it took out the whole fuel system. So I mean, for me, why would you want to buy a truck that is almost prone, and there's plenty of people out there that have had to deal with this. It's not like there's been 5 people. There's been plenty of people that have had to deal with the CP4 grenading on them and taking out their whole fuel system. Now you're 10 grand deep just to get the truck back to where it should have been from the factory. I do like on the new L5Ps, they kind of changed that, and we probably won't see the issue anymore. I'm glad Chevrolet learned from that. You know, of course they didn't learn from the ASX on the outside though, because they have those ugly box truck mirrors, but that's a whole other thing to talk about. But as far as my truck here, this is the last thing on the video. It's number 1, which is a CP4 on these Duramax. Just something I hate about this truck that it comes with. You know, you have to spend the extra money for the CP3 conversion kit, the injection pump, all that. Something that you shouldn't have to spend. They should have came with a CP3 from the factory. So what I'm going to do here, guys, is show you guys an update on the property here. Last time we were out here, they hadn't finished all of the grading and excavating on the actual house, whereas now everything is cut out and you can actually see the layout of the house and the layout of the garage. So as you can see here, I have a 2-car garage here, 2-car garage there. You can see the cutout there. The entrance to my house will be roughly, I don't know, right about here. I have 2 bedrooms over there. And of course, I have the kitchen and stuff here, living room, master, stuff like that. But you can actually see the layout of the house now, where this is a garage. Of course, there's gonna be a wall here. This is the whole front porch, and there is a wraparound porch. I'll have the office there. The whole master is over there. This is the entrance to the house. So when you walk in, you're walking through the doors right here. And this will be my living room area with the kitchen, and then I'll have a little nook right there. I have the office right here. And I have the bedrooms on that side over there with the laundry room and everything. And as you can see, guys, of course, what else would you expect? A massive garage. And here you guys can see, these are gonna be the posts. I have 12 by 12 posts for the lanai, and this is a wraparound porch, which I think is gonna look beautiful. So pretty much at this point, guys, we are ready for plumbing. We got the compaction test on Friday. We passed that, so we know the dirt is good and compact. And we're ready for plumbing, which is going to start actually tomorrow morning. Once that's complete, should be done in a day or 2. I'll have my concrete and block guy back in here. He'll be digging the footers, pouring the footers in the pad for the house, load the pad up with block, and start blocking the house. So pretty much here, and I'm hoping in the next 2 to 3 weeks, I have the whole house blocked, the pad done, and then at that point, we're ready for trusses, and then we can start framing on the inside. So I can't wait to get to that point. This is moving so fast. That's why I'm coming out here every single weekend now to try and clean up these trees a little bit and help the property look a little better, so it doesn't look like it's, you know, a nice house, you know, with raggedy trees all around it. So I had a couple people that actually messaged me and said they liked that I put the house in this video and they wanted to see more. So I'm going to continue to do that. Hopefully you guys like it. If you don't, just let me know. If you do, and you haven't and you didn't before, let me know again, just so I know that you guys like to see this. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm making this channel for you guys. So it's something that, you know, I've always wanted to do this. So of course it is for me as well. But I definitely want to produce stuff that you guys want to watch as well. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. And of course, maybe I'll even make, you know, a longer video going over everything in the house. You know, if that's something you guys want to see. I know you guys are here for the truck, and hopefully this was a good video for you guys. And if you guys share the same experiences with these trucks of things that annoy you, drop down in the comments. Let me know if you hate those things about your truck as well, because I know especially the 2 things on the inside, those are things that really annoy me, and I don't know why they're not on these trucks. The AC in the back and the, you know, having your windows where you can just hold the button once and all the windows go back up. It's something so simple. GM, please fix this. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. I'm gonna get back to cleaning the trees up here and picking some stuff up around the property. Hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. I've been dropping my videos on Friday, so this one of course will probably go up on Friday as well. So I hope this video is a good kickstart to your Friday and the rest of your weekend. Enjoy yourself, guys. Please like, subscribe, comment, share the video. Let's get this channel moving, guys. I'm trying to create great videos for you guys to watch. Let me know if there's certain things you guys want to see with this truck as well. Also drop that in the comments. I got a bunch more stuff playing, guys. And like I said in the last video, I know I keep leaving this cliffhanger at the end of all of my videos, but I do have a big announcement here of where the trucks are going. And once this truck really gets shipped off, I'll make a video on that as well, kind of explain where it's going. Another slight cliffhanger of what's going to be done to it, so you guys can, you know, expect to see something new with this truck here, so I don't just keep looking over the same truck all the time. and you guys have some new content on this channel here. So once again, guys, I'll get to that very soon. I'm actually going to be meeting up here shortly with another YouTuber, Justin Frio, to create another video for you guys, maybe get some different content. Hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. Like I said before, take care, guys. See ya.